Could you imagine being a photographer back in the 1800s during the heat of the summer? The heat under that cape must have been in the triple digits. Taking into consideration, you had to try to keep your client steady for several seconds at a time just to get one snapshot in. Not also to mention, they didn't have deodorant back in the old days, so you could just about imagine what it was like. These were only a few of the many problems that photographers faced back in the 1800s. Photography was and still is a very lucrative profession. Not many photographers were around in the 1800s. This made a great demand for them as well as the pay. If you were good enough, you could work for newspapers, local events, even weddings. Today there are many more events in needs of photographers compared to the old Cape days, as well as the flexible schedule, which makes it easy to work around having a full-time job as well. As with all professions though, there are several advantages as well as disadvantages. But through hard work, dedication, and desire to succeed, photography offers fun and exciting business opportunities. So many questions that I get asked is, what would make you start a photography business? Well, first of all, being self-employed is number one. You don't ever have to worry about losing your job. But owning your own photography business has many risks, just like owning any other business. You have to make several important business decisions concerning business strategies, but you ultimately have control over what you do. So you have total control of becoming successful or not. Being a successful photographer is more than about just taking a picture of someone. Professional photographers have the ability and the knowledge to make you look the best you can be in that photo. For example, if I wanted to renovate my house, I would be able to purchase materials at a store such as Lowe's or Home Depot for a couple of $100s. But if I would want it done right, I would have to hire a professional handyman to get the best results. Pretty much the same goes for hiring a professional photographer. You also have the ability to earn extra income. It is very common in today's society for photographers to work an 8 to 5 full-time job and also do photography in the evenings as well as on the weekends. This is when many of the special events occur, such as weddings, birthday parties, anniversary parties, and different things like that. So owning your own photography business, you'll always have the opportunity for that continued growth. When you work for someone else, you can only climb so high on the ladder before you really reach that salary cap, and you can't really be challenged at that point. But in photography, you can continue to gain experience as well as make more money. So the possibilities are pretty much endless. Photography also has to be your passion. Passion is a very powerful emotion. It's your motivation, it's your drive to succeed. Passion, it's ultimately about your attitude. So being passionate about your career can lead to success. And photography does not come from what you do. It comes from how well you do it. So being passionate about being the best photographer you can be, in turn you will become successful. I'm sure many of you have heard the famous quote from Napoleon Bonaparte, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, just imagine being able to get paid even hundreds or thousands of dollars for your photos. According to BrightHub.com, the median income for a freelance photographer is $30,000 a year. It's not bad for a part-time job, being your own boss and being able to set your own schedule. Starting your own photography business is challenging as well as life-changing. It can open many fun and exciting career opportunities. So, do you have what it takes to become a professional photographer? Would you go on a trip around the world without a map? Most probably not. Well, the same goes for photography. You must set goals and have an ultimate plan. Know exactly where you want to go with your business. Decide exactly what kind of photography you will specialize in, whether it's weddings, children, families, senior portraits, or even sports. Focus on what you're best at and enjoy. Keep in mind there are always be competition in the photography business, you have to make yourself stand out from the rest. So you have to come up with a unique name as well as unique marketing and advertising strategies to attract your clients. I suggest create business cards, flyers, and most importantly, create an online website or gallery to where potential clients can view your work. First impressions in photography are critical. According to digitalphotographyschool.com, 60% of photographers give up their business within the first year, and another 25% give it up within the second year. So that's an 85% turnover rate. So it's pretty important to do research up front and know what you're getting into, and don't ever lose that passion and that drive. Always keep your mind focused on your ultimate goal. Getting involved in local and community events can also help jumpstart your photography business as well as help get your name out there. This is also a great way to advertise and create an external support system. Everybody knows somebody, so it's pretty much a small world. So you never know who you'll meet and who may be able to help your business expand. But an established photography business doesn't happen overnight like many people may think. Many professional photographers begin their business working part-time out of their home. So it's always a good idea to have it in mind to start out slow, and once you begin to increase business and get your name out there and gain experience, then you can move on to bigger and better things, maybe traveling around the world. So once you become more confident as a photographer, you can open your own studio and begin to increase advertising in efforts to attract more clients. So for many photographers, this process can take several months or even years. But for the average startup cost to start a photography business out of your home, it can range from $1,000 to $100,000, all depending on what kind of equipment you buy. So these things are a must: a computer, a camera, of course, and camera equipment and editing software. So you can pretty much basically start out a business with just that, and then as you grow, purchase more equipment. But it's important to be patient and stay motivated in order to have a successful business. As I previously mentioned, photography has come a very long way from the old Cape days. It has evolved from a single photograph to putting many photographs in a sequence of order to produce films and even movies. We are entertained every day with photography, whether you realize it or not, from Facebook to billboards to the new fad, which is Pinterest. Today's society always enjoys looking at a good photograph. So as Napoleon Bonaparte did quote, "A picture is worth 1,000 words and may last for 1,000 years." So photography can expose you to many different situations as well as different cultures. You must have the ambition and drive to run a successful photography business, but it ultimately takes patience and time. So if you have a passion for photography, it's ultimately well worth